Hey everybody, I am Eric from the Red Bearded Predators. Today I am going to be reviewing the Under Armour Jungle Rat Boot. What am I going to go over in this review? I'm going to go over specs, going to go over durability, comfort, functionality, and just my general opinion of the boot, and also the break-in time. First thing I'm going to talk about when reviewing this boot is the specs of the boot. So it has an 8-inch height from top to bottom. I'm just going to read my notes on the rest of it. It has Under Armour Storm technology that repels water without sacrificing breathability. It's made out of leather and 900D nylon. Has those drainage holes. I'm not sure if you guys can see them or not. Basically drains water from the boot when you get water inside the boot. Has anti-odor technology because obviously we don't want our feet stinking. And has a full-length micro G midsole. I don't know what that means. I think they just came up with a fancy name to talk about the midsole, and it has a low profile rubber sole so it increases traction. I don't know. So I've owned these boots for about 2 years now. I've put about 50 to 60 miles both hunting and scouting on these boots. I'd say overall the boot itself is in tremendous condition for that amount of miles. No cracks on the bottoms or anything like that. No cracks around the boots. Like I said, I mink oil all my boots. I'd say the biggest flaw of these boots, it's so annoying, is that the shoelaces absolutely suck. After I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 times tying these boots, the shoelaces came apart. I just keep on using the shoelaces because I'm a cheap ass, but I should probably replace them. But yeah, in terms of durability, the boot itself's fine, but the shoelaces are freaking terrible. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is the functionality of these boots. The reason I buy jungle boots is for early season hunting in Wisconsin when you're in the marshes, swamps, river bottoms, that sort of scenario. These boots are a great option for that. Reason I like it is because I accept getting my feet wet that time of year, and rather than being filled with water in a rubber boot, these drain holes just drain the water out. So I love that aspect of these boots. I love how breathable these boots are, especially when it's hot and muggy in the early season. I don't like dealing with a lot of foot sweat, where these boots actually do a really good job. Even though your feet are getting wet, when you're in the stand, your feet don't feel terrible, even if you're wearing wet socks. And most of the time we're only hunting half days, so I don't mind sitting with wet feet for the half day. Yeah, like I said, absolutely love the drain holes for draining my boots. I guess some of the downsides of these boots, they really struggle in hills. If you get your foot wet, then you're up in the hills. I noticed the sole inside is really slippery, so your foot kind of goes back and forth. So that is not very comfortable at all. And I guess if you're using these in hills, make sure your boots are really, really tight, because you'll keep on having that sliding thing happening over and over again, and you're gonna start to develop blisters, hot spots, and that sort of thing, and you don't want that. I'd say, in terms of climbing tree stand, it looks like this should be really grippy. They're not. It's actually a very slippery boot. When you are putting your foot on the metal part, your boot does slip a little bit, and I'm just very careful when I'm climbing on my tree sticks and my aiders and whatnot. So there's some pros and cons when it comes to the functionality side of these. Just figure right there, I'd show you how easy it is to walk in water with these boots. A great early season option. Like I said, the drain holes drain out the water in this boot. Super light, doesn't absorb a lot of water, and you don't have to deal with the garbage early season of having the heavy rubber boot, dumping out the rubber boot, get more water in the rubber boot. So these are just really convenient when it comes to that sort of thing. Yeah, and I'll just show you how they move in the water. Here you go, guys. Getting a little bit deeper water. Still moving really well. I've had these for 2 seasons hunting in marshes and love them. love the functionality side of these boots. These aren't the most comfortable boots I've ever worn. The sole's really hard. Like I said in my last boot review, those ones felt like pillows. I don't know. These ones just, I don't know how to describe it. It's just like a very slippery inside, and it's not very comfortable at all. I do have to say, if you're using these boots vigorously, where you're putting on miles and miles and miles, you're gonna start to develop hot spots. You're gonna start to develop blisters. So I'd say, if you're gonna do any more than like 3 or 4 miles in a day, be ready with some Leuco tape where you can put them on those hot spots so you can prevent blisters from happening. So in terms of comfort, not the most comfortable boot. It took me about 2 or 3 weeks to break them in, although it still never feels like I really broke them in. I think that's another line along like the comfort, is it's just not a comfortable boot at all. So this break-in time will probably take you a while. I'm not sure why. It's just, this boot does not fit my foot well. Overall, the laces absolutely suck, like I said. Terrible laces. I'd say the comfort is lacking. If you're looking for a comfort boot, this is not your choice. Hot spots, foot sliding, blisters. Not a great feel on my foot, at least. I don't like that, even though these look like they should grip something, they're very slippery on a tree stand. I'd say as long as you just take your time and don't rush it and be disciplined when you're climbing a tree, these won't be a problem. But if you're not taking the time, you could slip with these boots and end up hurting yourself. Where does this boot thrive? It thrives, for me, in marshes, swamps, river bottoms, in the early season in Wisconsin. Absolutely tremendous. I love the drain holes. I love how I can just pick up my foot and just keep on going without having to dump out water of rubber boots. That's been a frustration over the years. That's why I've switched over to jungle boots early in the season. And even when it's hot and muggy out, like, my foot feels like it's breathing. Even though like my sock may be wet, my foot feels overall pretty decent in this boot because it feels like it's kind of drying in a way. I'd say anytime the temperatures start dipping below 50 degrees, maybe go in a different direction, but these are great for early season. What's my general thought going future on these boots? I am not gonna purchase these boots in the future. I'm actually gonna head in a different direction of different jungle boots. I love the concept of having a jungle boot just for its functionality. I just need something that fits me and works and is a lot more comfortable moving in the future and a lot more safer for climbing down the tree stands and whatnot. Hopefully you guys felt like this review is helpful. I suggest getting you a pair of jungle boots if you're hunting the swamps in Wisconsin and don't mind getting your feet wet and want to move a lot more quickly in marshes. Thanks for watching this review. We'll see you next time.